In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to put a 3D animation in the foreground with a moving video background. I'm going to start off from where I finished a previous tutorial that showed how to put this image in the background of a Blender scene. First thing I'm going to do is set up the foreground animation, so I'm going to go into 3D view. I need to insert a keyframe in frame 1, so I'm in frame 1, so I insert, I'm going to move the cube and rotate it, so location, rotation, keyframes. Now I'm going to say my little rhyme, which I know some people find scary, but go to frame, make change, and insert keyframes. So I'm going to now go to frame 100. I'm going to make the change. I'm going to change the location. I'm going to use the 3D manipulator widget, so I'm grabbing the point of the green arrow, which will move my cube along the y-axis, and I'm moving it to the edge of where the camera can see. I'm going to select the properties of the object. I'm going to rotate the cube about the z-axis, the blue axis, 180 degrees. So I've gone to frame 100, I've made the change. Now I insert keyframes, location, rotation. I can rewind and just see if that plays. Yeah, there it goes, rotating back. Rhyme again, go to frame. I'm now going to go to frame 200. I make the change, so I'm going to grab the green arrow again and bring the cube along the y-axis just to the edge of where the camera can see, and change the rotation this time to minus 180 degrees, and go to frame, make change, insert keyframes. Just to be different, I'll right click on rotation and location to insert location and rotation keyframes. Rewind just to make sure that works, so the cube goes back along the y-axis, rotating, and then comes forward. That's my foreground animation. I've got set up the foreground animation. The total length of the animation will be 200 frames. But if I press F12, which will do an image render, I've still got the still image background. So how do I get a moving video image background? Well, to do that I need to go to the texture for the world, but if I click the texture button I get the texture for the cube, so I have to click the world button first, followed by the texture button. Here I've got my still image. How do I get a moving image? Well, I closed up this panel because the image panel, so I could mess about with the size and see the preview. We need to reopen that panel, and I'm going to delete the data block linking to the still image, and if I click the open button I can look for a moving image. Here I got a video clip, so I'm going to open that. If I press F12, it'll do a still image but take the first frame from the video file. Okay, are there any other settings I need to do while I'm in the material button? And there's just this one here. This field here sets the number of images of a movie to use, so it takes how many frames it takes from the video file. I've got 200 frames in my foreground animation, so I'm going to set this to 200 as well, to take 200 images, if you like, from the video file. And that is that done. Now I need to go into the render button, and before I render animation I need to set a few settings here. This is quite a low res video clip, so I'm going to halve the resolution. Put this to be 320 by 240. And I need to say where I'm going to save the file. So if I save that in my video folder and give the file a name, Puppy Cube. I'll put .avi. I can't remember if you need it or not, or whether it'll be added automatically. Accept that, and I need to change the file type to AVI, and I think that's it. So now if I click animation, it'll render the scene to a video file. There it's going through the frames, and the background is changing as you go through the frames of the video, and the foreground is changing as Blender renders the rotating cube. I think that's it. I'll put the final file on my website, freemovies.co.uk, at the Blender channel there. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.